So, I'm talking about the stage between 12 and 18. Okay. So here's what I'm saying your brain looks like at 12. I know it's a goofy picture, but I love it. And what it's supposed to be is an aerial view in LA of a bunch of roads running in a bunch of different directions. Well, what I'm saying your brain transforms into between 12 and 18, and it doesn't solidify till you're 25. But when you're walking out of high school at 18 years old, it looks like this. And there's two enormous changes that have taken place during this stage of development when you begin to individuate and you begin to find out who you are. First thing is there's less highways. It's called pruning. If you've ever seen a gardener prune a tree, they cut out big branches of the tree so the tree really gets a chance to take its shape and to grow and to go where it needs to go, okay? Here, the roads that you don't take, the roads that aren't firing off dopamine for you at all, you got no interest in those roads between 12 and 18, they get pruned away. It's exactly what's supposed to happen. You're getting rid of a lot of the stuff that you're not interested in. And that leaves room for the stuff that you are interested in. And the stuff that you are interested in, those get to be major highways. And I want to explain what that is. So, let's say this is my brain. Okay. And what interested me in growing up was basketball. And I'd be out in front of my house and practicing jump shots, okay, in the schoolyard. And for a jump shot, you use your ankles, you use your calves, you use your quads, and you jump, okay? And when you get good at jumping, you recognize that there's a certain spot in the jump where you don't go up any higher, but you haven't started to come down yet. There's a split-second pause. At that split-second pause, you use your forearm, your wrist, your fingertips, and that's where you take your shot, okay? I went through a whole bunch of connections that were my jump shot connections. And now when I go, I do it again, and I do it again, and I do it again. And I keep getting on this road. What begins to grow around the outside of these electrical connections is something called myelin. And what myelin is like insulation on a wire. The more you do it, the more it insulates that wire, the better that puppy fires off. So after a while, that gets hardwired in. So, during this time, between 12 and 18, the stuff that you work gets hardwired in, and the stuff that you don't work gets pruned away. It's a very crucial time. And if you begin to use the weed thing here, you got to figure out where to buy it. Then when you figure out where to buy it, you got to get money to buy it. And then when you get money to buy it, and you buy it, then you look at it and you go, well, how do you do this? Do you grind it up or do you put it in a pipe? You got to get the accoutrements for it. Then after you get the accoutrements for it, then you got to figure out where you're going to do it. And then you do it. Fires off a bunch of dopamine. Your brain says, thank you very much. Next time, it's a little bit easier. Next time is a little bit easier. I was speaking to a kid who said, listen, Ralph, I only smoke weed on the weekends. You know how much that kid smokes over a year's time? 100 times. That's what I want at this point, those roads that get myelinated in to lead to what really fires off dopamine for you. I don't want it to lead to weed at this point. You're not going to die of an overdose. It's not going to kill you. But the thing is, it takes you off your direction. You have a job to do right now. And the job is to figure out who you are. And who you are is what you're interested in. And to short-circuit that with the weed at this point not only takes you off your task, but it hardwires in this other piece. That between the ages of 12 and 18, really, if you can make it longer, that's great. But this is a time when weed is really detrimental. Not